Hey, welcome in. Well, we have a definite date now set for the launch of Trump's Truth Social, the brand new media platform, and it's President's Day. So the app is being launched by Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG, on President's Day, February 21st. And Truth Social will serve as an alternative to Twitter and Facebook, which Trump has been banned on since January 6, 2021, which, as everybody knows, is the day of the worst thing that ever happened in the history of the world. Quote, "We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president has been silenced. This is unacceptable." And that's from Trump. "I'm excited to send out my first truth on Truth Social very soon." So I guess instead of sending out a tweet, you're going to send out a truth. And now, of course, not everything that's going to be said on Truth Social is going to be true, just like every other single platform out there. Now, of course, this is not going to be perfect. Every site, no matter which one it is, has, terms of service. This one is going to as well. I think that what people just want, though, is to be on an even playing field where the rules apply to everybody. And I think there's a hunger in the market for more places that people can go where stuff like this doesn't happen. Twitter permanently boots Marjorie Taylor Greene over vaccine misinformation. Now, according to her office, they're saying that the ban was about her quoting VAERS data. Now, VAERS is, of course, the system by which doctors report adverse reactions. And, of course, you're not allowed to have an adverse reaction these days because, it just doesn't look good. So, can't have that. Banned. You also can't be the wrong kind of medical expert. Twitter suspends Dr. Robert Malone, inventor of mRNA vaccines and COOF vaccine skeptic. Now, let's be a little more precise here with the inventor label. Malone is an internationally recognized vaccine researcher who has authored dozens of scientific papers and been cited thousands of times. He is the primary author of a 1989 paper that demonstrated how RNA could be delivered into cells, and a co-author of a 1990 paper that showed how injecting pure RNA or DNA into mouse muscle cells can lead to a transcription of new proteins. His work has been described as seminal in the field of mRNA vaccine development. Yeah, he may not have cooked up the jab that everybody's getting in his kitchen, right? But he knows what he's talking about when it comes to this stuff. So, Robert Malone is very qualified to make statements on it, but it's just not the statements that Twitter likes, so, banned. Or how about this? Matt Walsh suspended from Twitter over transgender tweets. Here's what Twitter has censored. The greatest female Jeopardy champion of all time is a man. The top female college swimmer is a man. The first female 4-star admiral in the Public Health Service is a man. Men have dominated female high school track and the female MMA circuit. The patriarchy wins in the end. Here's the thing. You may not like it. You may find it distasteful. But biology agrees with him. This isn't making a statement on the ethics around transgenderism or anything like that. It's just stating biological reality. And personally, for myself, I don't care what adults do. I do not care. It's not my business what adults do with their own bodies. And I don't make any moral judgment on what adults do with their own bodies. It's just that Twitter, you can't expect me to believe something that I just know isn't true on a fundamental level. So if you agree with biology and Twitter disagrees with biology, well, suspended. And this is what I'm talking about by a level playing field. When you can be banned for just disagreeing with, frankly, far-left ideologues who are disengaged from reality. That's not a level playing field for conservatives or moderates or, biologists say. So sure, Trump Social, I don't expect it to be perfect, as none of the sites are perfect. What I expect it to be is better, as well as being the market reacting to an unnatural monopoly. So let's see, truthsocial.com promises to encourage open, free, and honest conversations without discriminating against political ideology. And we all know what this means, right? We all know that this means you won't be discriminated against because you disagree with woke orthodoxy, which is based on nothing, just feelings. The app will work similarly to Twitter, in which users can share their opinions by posting a truth rather than a tweet. It says here, according to a poll from Morning Consult, 63% of Republicans said they would use the app. Meanwhile, 72% of Democrats say they will not use the app at all. You know what? That number is going to come down as the woke orthodoxy gets more and more extreme and ridiculous, and as it becomes more and more difficult to say obvious truths, just common sense truths on platforms like Twitter. There's going to be some percentage of those Democrats that just end up getting kicked off because they said something that was fine 5 minutes ago and suddenly is the worst thing that's ever happened. And those people are still going to want to be on social media. And that's the thing about wokeness, is that it is unforgiving, just fundamentally divisive. The search for new forms of oppression and heresy is never ending. It is ceaseless, relentless, remorseless. There has to be a heretic somewhere, and a friend is just as good as an enemy, maybe even better, actually. It's a world where they're all watching each other, constantly waiting for any misstep, any heresy. It's a very depressing and paranoid place. And so I expect, this number of Democrats that say they will not use the app at all, I expect that number to come down. Because the one thing about wokeness that's inevitable is that it will alienate its own. The revolution devours its own. It always does. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.